Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. While you're here, smash those likes, hit that follow button. It's a free and great way to support the channel. All right, so the market is not pumping, but we're in the green. There's a lot of news, but two news in particular that I want to discuss right now. This is one of them. So I've done some deep dive into the rabbit hole of the Bank of International Settlement and this mBridge project that's experimenting with multiple CBDC platforms. Now, if we go down here, well, first, the mBridge experiments is supposed to help multiple CBDCs on different platforms to help perform cross-border payments with wholesale CBDCs by way of cross-border payments. But what's very interesting is if you look at the founding central banks, you have the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, you have the Central Bank of the UAE, and then you have the Digital Currency Institute of the People's Bank of China and Bank of Thailand. So what's interesting is that when we do a deep dive and we do a deep search into this, you will see there's connections with Ripple. This is the HKD Pilot Program, where it literally shows you what they're doing with a CBDC and how it connects to the XRPL. They're literally showing you right here. This goes to tokenization of property equity for HELOC loans, HELOC loans. And it's about the connections. It's about who's going to power those transactions. It's right here. You have the bank, goes into the XRPL, and it disperses funds to the customer. You have loans. Like this is a hypothetical setup of how it will look, but every setup when it comes to a line of credit, every setup when it comes to tokenization ends up looking like this. It ends up looking like this. You have the bank, you have the XRPL, you have the CBDC on the XRPL, and then you have an issue to the customer, wholesale. And every time a CBDC is facilitated on the XRPL, XRP is used for that, for cross-border payments. And then you have the UAE makes its first cross-border payment, CBDC payment using mBridge, where they utilize XRP for those cross-border payments. Now, one thing, since we are moving towards tokenization and a Bitcoin spot ETF is out the way, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink himself says we're moving to a path of tokenization.
We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities about bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we can customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stocks. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. We believe the next step going forward will be.
Now, what's so ironic about all of this is if we scroll down and we look at the observing members, we will see banks that have some type of partnership or have some type of involvement when it comes to Ripple and or XRP. Look, you have the IMF. 4, 5, 6 years ago, you have Brad Garlinghouse and Ross Leclow of the IMF talking on stage, and somebody asked a question, do you see the IMF holding digital assets?
Can you see those? Oh, there's 2 votes.
Let me try.
Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future? Oh, they're over here. That's easier. You want to take one? Go for it. The first one's for you. IMF. Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future? I did not put that up there.
Remember, I'm from the legal department. I'm supposed to be very conservative about these things. I don't want to go into great details about
Maybe I should take what the IMF is going to do. I think we stunned Ross into silence with that one.
And Ross Leclow's answer was, well, they both looked at each other. Like, they looked at each other like, who would put this up there? Well, the answer is the only way the IMF can hold a digital asset is if it's some form of, if it's considered legal tender and some other nation or country holds it. Well, we know Bitcoin in El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender, and there's rules and regulations set up right now for XRP to be considered legal tender. And how is that? Well, with this clawback feature that's now been enabled on the XRPL, on the XRP scan, you can go and you can look at all the amendments for what's happening or what's going to happen on the XRPL. And right here it says, for regulatory purposes, some issuers must have the ability to recover issued tokens after they are distributed to accounts. For example, if an issuer were to discover that tokens were sent to an account sanctioned for illegal activity, the issuer could recover or claw back the funds. That sounds like legal tender to me. Oh, I sent money to an unknown account. I need it back because I got scammed. I need that back. Can you send me my money back? That's what they can do for XRP now. It's fully been enabled. That's what the clawback feature is for. And this is also a feature this is a necessary feature for wholesale CBDCs on the XRPL as well. It's crazy because XRP is like a hybrid token. It's kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This one's too hot. This one's too cold. This one's just right. And when it's just right, guess what she did? She ate all of the porridge. I think it was porridge. She ate all of it. So since XRP is in the middle and since XRP is just right, wouldn't that mean all of the money? Think about that for a minute. You have an entity fighting so hard to not give XRP and Ripple its moment. What is really going on? Right? Some people might say, well, they shouldn't have marketed XRP from 2013 to 2017 as a security. Well, XRP isn't a security. So what's the real reason behind it? It all goes back to the connections that I was telling you about. And the SEC was created by Congress, so Congress has the power to completely dismantle them if they want to. But it goes by the connections that Ripple has. Look, you have the Bank of France. You have the Central Bank of Malaysia. You have the European Central Bank. You have the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. You have the National Bank of Georgia, South African Reserve Bank, and the World Bank. They all have connections to one entity, and that's Ripple. Folks, I've always said all along, he who holds the XRP escrow owns the oil to the financial system. And it's been about that. As technology changes, we have to grow as people. We have to grow as humans to fully understand and grasp what's happening. There's a lot going on international, and there's no doubt about it. Now, I got to analyzing what Senior Director, Head Product Marketing of Payments at Ripple said, that it's 90% building and 10% growing, and that they're about to announce here soon more U.S. Partnerships and products for Ripple Payments with their new money transmitter license. That's the majority of the U.S. There's that thing, not too hot, not too cold. Well, too hot, too cold, just right. And then she eats up all of the porridge. Well, you have an entity that has MTLs that cover the majority of the U.S. And what covers the U.S.? Federal Reserve Bank of New York. All of these banks are connected, and it made me think. U.S. Well, then I go back and I look at this. Experts emphasize XRP's role in New York Fed's digital dollar. I've been feeling like this has been planned for some time. When the great event happened in 2020, there was an article that came out for you, me, and everybody else to get stimulus payments digitally by way of a digital dollar. And that digital dollar, which was quickly taken out of the bill, I believe that was a sign to tell everybody that the world is changing and we're ready to accept a digital dollar and we're ready to use the XRPL to actually utilize that. But the framework behind this, when it comes to the digital dollar, goes back and says Wells Fargo, Citigroup, they all had an active role in this trial for the digital dollar. Well, guess what? Citibank is a Ripple partner. Wells Fargo is a quote-unquote Ripple's partner. Citibank partnered with Medico to create Harmonize to custody digital assets. And now Ripple bought Medico to still help custody digital assets for its Ripple partners and anybody else who wants to take part of having their digital asset custody. The connections are huge. I mean, the connections are, then you have, this is what this is supposed to look like for FedNow. FedNow partners with Ripple and Volante. Could it boost Ripple's popularity? Like anything that says Ripple Connect or Ripple Cloud refers to on-demand liquidity. And on-demand liquidity, you get to use XRP for those cross-border payments for wholesale CBDCs. Look, here it is right here. Let me see, where is it at? I just saw it. Results from this trial confirm that the potential of digital dollars to enhance wholesale payments. This aligns with current dialogues around wholesale payments, CBDCs, and the prospective role of XRP in its sphere. It's literally right here. And with this clawback feature that's now been enabled, that makes what the Bank of UAE done internationally have some type of legitimacy in the US, because now clawback features are now enabled. Folks, this is huge. And right now we're sitting at 52 cents right now. And it may have something to do with Bitcoin moving right now. Bitcoin's at 47,000 and some change right now. Of course, when Bitcoin moves, everything else moves. But right now we haven't even begun to see the utility of what XRP is going to do on the XRPO. Because every time a cross-border payment transaction happens, then XRP's burnt, and a portion of the XRP is burnt in those transactions. Just look at this, all the connections. Everyone on this list is somehow connected to Ripple and somehow will utilize XRP. Folks, this is bigger than what we thought. This is way bigger. Like, I don't even want to put a price on what XRP is going to be. But here's the thing. People say all the time that XRP is a scam. XRP is a banker's coin. But you have to understand that if XRP was a banker's coin, what's wrong with that? Bitcoin is now considered a banker's coin because financial institutions are creating Bitcoin spot ETFs. So why can't it be a banker's coin? What's wrong with that? If we want a digital asset to be adopted like we believe and like we wholeheartedly believe that the prophecies really say that XRP is going to go to 10,000 or Bitcoin is going to go to 1 million, do you think that more money needs to be put into the market cap in order for that not to happen? Absolutely. So there's nothing wrong with a digital asset being a banker's coin. There's nothing wrong with financial institutions or brokerages using and utilizing a specific blockchain, because the more utility is used on that blockchain, the more valuable it becomes. And the more valuable it becomes, guess what? The more store of value it becomes. These connections mean something. The SEC trying to stifle innovation means something. Moving on. And because the market is pumping, one analyst still believes that Bitcoin is going to go to 100K by the end of 2024. Now, the reason why they believe that why Bitcoin is going to go to 100K by the end of 2024 is mainly because of this right here, the Bitcoin halving. And the Bitcoin halving actually happens in 68 days, 3 hours, 26 minutes, and 21 seconds, 20 seconds and counting. Now, the estimated was April the 20th, but now it's April the 17th. And this is pretty much when the block reward gets cut in half from 6.25 Bitcoin to 3.125. Folks, Bitcoin is running thin. And if people are saying that people said Bitcoin was never going to go past $100, just like people are saying XRP is never going to go past $3.85. Do you see the correlation between the two? Because it's there. XRP can do just as well as Bitcoin, if not better. And I'm not bashing it. I love Bitcoin. I love XRP. And I love other digital assets as well. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Because I think something's going to happen. I think something's brewing, and it is all about those connections. All right, y'all, that'll do it for me. If you made it this far, please make sure you hit the like and the follow button. It's a free and great way to support the channel. Looks like the market is trying to pick back up. I will see you and everybody else on the next one. Peace.